Good evening, Professor Stanley Jones.
The maestro himself.
Hey, welcome to the Hands Up Radio Show. It's your boy Trevone Perry, man. Listen, we got all the legends here tonight. We back for another episode of for Strength Talk, man. I am just elated to have my big brothers here with me tonight. Super producer Stan Jones is in the building. Let's give it up for him.
Trayvon.
Yeah, man.
Amen.
Another super producer, man. My big brother and closest friend Jay Clay is in the building with us tonight.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
Walking knowledge.
we got the Christmas star, the Billboard charting artist, Titus Showers in the building with us tonight, man. Let's go. I'm loving the Christmas music.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, big dog.
James Mabel, man, he's flying all over the world. We got him with us tonight.
What's good?
Oh man, the legend, the embodiment himself, Keith Wonderboy Legend Johnson.
Come out, Johnson.
Yeah. The awesome Kenny Lewis in the building. I'm loving the new project.
Yo.
I'm
What's up, man?
like every day.
Thank you, bro.
Yo,
appreciate it. What's up, fellas?
We got the BET Award special dude here tonight. My dude Jabari Johnson is here with us tonight. And last but most certainly not least, we love Disney himself, Charles Perry in the building with us, man. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Good,
Yeah. Y'all all know the live is on my page. Just go to it, share so that your people can know what's going on, man. Anyway, man, just get straight to it, man. How y'all been?
I'm there. I don't see you on.
I don't see you live, bro.
Right, I'm looking for you, bro.
I'm on right there. I'm on right now. Refresh the screen. I'm looking at it.
Refresh.
I'm looking at it.
Still don't see it.
No, I don't see you, Trey.
You sure?
Yeah, you're not on.
Pay your electricity bill.
Trayvon, you're not on. You're definitely not on.
Refresh the screen.
I did.
Yeah, bro.
I did.
Trey,
I
we
did
got that's a
Trey, we not all wrong.
all right. So let me see something. Because this is crazy. I'm looking right now.
Yeah, you probably got to restart it.
Or which page you got to connect it to?
Trayvon Perry.
The like page or your regular page?
My regular page. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not on.
No, it's not on.
The only picture I see is you with all them.
Oh my God. You know what was going on? I could see it. Sorry, I just made it public. Sorry.
Oh,
okay.
There you go.
That explains it.
Oh, that explains it. Why is it private? I'm like, what is happening, man? What are you?
There we go. I see it.
Yeah. No, that is crazy. Anyway, let's do this again. Welcome to the Hands Up Radio Show with your boy Trayvon Perry, man. We got super producer in the building, Stan Jones, man.
What's up?
None other than Jason Claiborne is with us tonight, man.
What's up, bro?
Let's go, man. Christmas star himself, man. Billboard charting gospel artist Titus Showers in the building.
Yeah.
Bless you, man.
Yeah. We got James Mabel with us, the country boy himself, Billboard star. We love that dude right there.
What's good, y'all?
The legend, the embodiment himself, Keith Wonderboy Legend Johnson in the building.
What it do, James?
my guy.
I am jealous of your line right now.
You see him. We got.
I'm scared. I'm scared to take my hat off.
Hold on. Let me finish. We got Kenny. We got the man himself, Kenny Lewis, in the building with us tonight. Let's go. What you got to say?
What up?
New project
What's up,
out.
fam?
Blazing. If y'all haven't downloaded the man project, go get it right now.
Number 3 on the
Appreciate
billboards
it,
right now.
Yes, sir. Go get it right now.
Grab that.
Yo,
Appreciate it, fellas.
we got him away from BET tonight. That's what we did. Jabari Johnson's in the building tonight. We got and he got a new, and you see him, he's looking dapper over there. He got the little, cloth over there eating filet mignons tonight. We got Mr. We Love Disney in the building, Charles Perry.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yo, fellas, this year is almost over. That doesn't mean the pandemic is over. because we know we got some ways to go on that. But how are we feeling, man? We got a new president. Remember last time we was on here talking about Mr. Orange Man. How we all feeling? How we doing, brothers? How we doing? Anybody? Anybody? Let's not all talk at once. Anybody?
Right. Everybody took a side.
Everybody's like, we don't know about this tonight.
Y'all don't know. Wait. Well, how do we feel about Joe Biden? What's up with that? I mean, I know he wasn't the greatest choice, but it's better than what we had. What y'all think about that?
Definitely better than what we had, man. I'm
Definitely.
actually excited that he won, bro, because it was just too much division going on, man, and the world, it was just so divided, and the person in charge of the world was spearheading the division. So I'm just excited that he definitely got out of there. I waited too long, man. I think, I waited a whole week. I would go to sleep, wake up, and see, man, they still counting. I had to sit on boy from Instagram. 1, 2, whatever you can do with a boy. Boy, that be counting the Chinese. Yeah, my man was up there counting, man. But I'm excited, especially about the running mate, and then to see a woman in the position of power. Sure. I'm excited about that, man. So definitely.
Yo, that election was a roller coaster. I've never seen it done like this before. I mean, I'm only 35 years young, so maybe it happened at some point. I've never seen it done like this before. How was that experience for you, Stan, and were you pleased with the results?
It was interesting, man. To be honest, I learned a lot from it, to be honest. I know Trump is...
Stan is a Trump supporter.
No, I'm not.
Don't you put that out there. Don't you put that out there.
He want them
taxes.
He wants them taxes.
But I can't lie. I'm always looking for the genius in everybody. So, even though he is a nut, there's some elements that I saw marketing genius in this guy. Like the way he was able to stick names to people and you really believe that's who they are, like Sleepy Joe, and I just be watching this dude. This dude he's a mess, man. But I will say that I'm excited to have the first African American woman vice president.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
I've been seeing a lot of pictures with little girls, African American girls, standing in front of TV and just looking at that. That's pretty inspiring. But, again, I'm glad Trump is out, but I have a feeling he will be back.
Yeah, it's not over.
I don't think so, but hopefully he won't. The Italian situation, man, was anybody on edge of their seats, man? Anybody anxious that this dude was going to get back in the seat?
Oh, yeah, I was very nervous as far as myself. I mean, I was all in the polls, making sure the machine was plugged up. I was like, I want to make sure I want my vote to count.
Right.
This is crazy.
But I think what's tight about it is how black women showed up, man, and how black women really stood up and voted, man. We put them in office.
We did.
We put them in office, man. We labor, and it's a fact that black people have power. You know what I'm saying? And I think that what we need to take away from that is that we got more power than we think we have. And Trump and all them supporters, they was heated about that. That's why they was trying to recount and do all of that, because they knew that black people came out and voted this time. You know what I mean? So, they didn't say that, but that's what the underlying, it's always underlying racism a lot and different things that happen. You know what I mean? And, ain't nothing we could do about that. That's the country that we were brought to, so, but at the end of the day, we are a part of this country. We helped build this country. So, I feel like at the end of the day, this is our country too. You don't get no monopoly on this being your country. We are all here, and we work for 465 years without a paycheck. This is our country. You know what I mean? So black people showed up.
Yo,
sure did.
What I'd love to see, you're right, and if it's because of our Black and Brown communities that there is a Joe Biden and a Kamala Harris in office right now. With that being said, this was a lot of people's first time voting. Some people, that something year old, nobody on this line has to be ashamed. It had everybody on this live, not to call you out if you don't want to, but has anybody on this line never voted before until this election? Seriously?
Wow. That's dope. That's crazy.
What's up, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. People came out in record-breaking numbers. And Jabari, I want to give you a chance to talk about that. What was that first-time experience for you, Brody?
I just wanted to get Trump out of office. That's all. I voted for Trump. No, I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Joe Biden and what's his name? And that same day I went and bought me a gun because I knew these white folks was about to go crazy. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. When they got me some heat, couple of box of bullets, you know what I'm saying?
You got to have them choppers on
deck. You gotta do.
Yeah. Man, I advise everybody to go get one, bro.
Yeah. Well, everybody don't have an open you can't carry here in New York, you can't. Maybe y'all can't.
I can't carry outside, but you walk in here, I'm gonna put something on your mind.
We can carry here.
Oh, we can carry. You in Kentucky?
Well, we gotta fix that. New York has to fix that. That has to change. This climate we in.
Need to fix
it. I heard in New York, if you get caught with a gun, they'll give you a year for every bullet that's in that gun.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
It makes
I got homies sitting in jail right now.
Serious.
I got homies sitting in jail right now.
Yeah.
And even if you have papers other places, you got to specifically come and get New York places.
New York, exactly.
And if you don't have New York papers, don't let them catch you somewhere at the airport. They make an example.
You can't even take it to the
airport though. That's the thing.
I'm not gonna take my man. This is my man. He was in the NFL, so and he had it in his bag and then forgot because he was going from place to place. So when he came into New York, he was cool and he still had it in his bag. But when he went to leave, it wasn't even nothing to talk about. And they put him on the Daily News the next day.
Oh, Jesus.
They took him straight to the boy. So
that's a whole nother thing. I want to say this. That was to hear that about Jabari. That's really powerful, bro. That your first time. There's nothing to be ashamed about. As LeBron James was talking about it, and NBA, so many NBA players. This was their first time ever voting. LeBron James' mother, 50-some years old, her first time ever voting. I think it's imperative moving forward that we make sure that our people in our communities are empowered and feel that their voice counts, because so many people did not vote for the same reason why when I was younger, I probably feel like I shouldn't have, I felt like my vote didn't matter. We in the hood, nobody cares about our vote. But we got to see that this election, to have the turnout that we did, it mattered. If it wasn't for our community, there wouldn't be a Joe Biden sitting in office right now.
Believe, man.
But
man, come on.
Yeah, so that's powerful, man. So for those of you that are watching, man, your vote matters. Please remember to vote the next time. Do not fall short. Kenny Lewis, man. Go ahead. Sorry, say.
Hey, Pierre, I was just saying to that fact before you move on. We have 2 more Senate races in the state of Georgia.
Yes, talk about it. Talk about it.
As you were speaking to that whole of having those communities come out, Detroit, Philly, to really push President Biden in. The fact that we have the opportunity to have control over the Senate, and what Stacey Abrams did and that entire legislative team there in Georgia did, and continuing to do to get these people registered now for both of these runoffs, man, is just equally important. So if we got anybody here from the state of Georgia that's tuned in, listen, make it your priority, make it your business to get the folk on your street, your church, go over and beyond. Do it again. You guys showed it that time. I mean, that was, like you were saying with President Trump trying to stop all accounting, and but it turned against him, man, when all of his Republican allies had to follow the law, and once they did not follow that, now they are his enemies. And so if you anywhere near Georgia, hey, do what you got to do, man, because it just gives us a better opportunity to allow legislation to move in the democratic way that it's supposed to move, which is why we've been able to do what we've done with the voting process this year.
I totally concur, and I totally agree. That is important. Too often we focus on things that do not matter. What up, little Jay?
Say what's up?
Little Jay? What up? Make sure you vote when it's time. Kenny Lewis, man, dealing with putting out a new project in the midst of a pandemic, man. How has that been? And for an artist that may be trying to put out something during this pandemic, I mean, everybody has been working on this live. Tell us a bit about that process and how important. How was it? Keeping focused with all that was going on, the election, the COVID, everything else.
Well, man, as you know, we did the project live last year, November 23rd. Okay. So before the pandemic, we were kind of strategizing, how we were going to release it. And man, the great thing that I guess I'm more honored to say is that I did it my way. So to speak, I've been doing quite a few interviews, and I always say, well, who made the rules that groups or choirs can only sing choir music? I love quartet. I love CCM. I love, urban. And I wanted us to exemplify all the styles of music that I love to do. It's been a grind, bro. I started my own label, Pure Sound Music, and we managed to get national distribution through Symphonics. That's so, oh man, it's been a blessing. So it's been everywhere. The country has really been gravitating to it, man, and I am honored. It's been a grind. I think now with this pandemic, all we have is content. So my team and management had the idea to bring in a whole video staff team to video the whole entire recording, man. And so that has been a blessing in this pandemic. A lot of times we hear the music, but it brings on a different kind of appreciation when we can put the music with the artist and you can be a part of that whole process, man. So it's been dope. I think that some things, I hate this pandemic. I'm sick of it. I'm ready to throw it in the trash. But some things would not have happened the way that they hadn't happened if we hadn't been at home.
True.
As you said, man, God really, really blessed us, man. The Billboard came out yesterday. We were number 3. Maverick City was 1. Kanye was 2. We were number 3. I'm appreciative, bro. Man, even talking about it, sometimes I get choked up. It's been a lot of work. So many times, I don't mean to keep talking, but so many times you go to these venues and you go to these award shows and you go to this and that, and you feel like, man, when is it my turn? I have something to offer too, God, and you said, what would I say to a different generation? It's to change your focus. Awards and accolades are good, but man, the DMs, the text messages of the testimonials, man, how the music has blessed them, or it's refreshing. It's better than any award, anything, of that nature. So I'm just excited, man. I don't want to keep talking, but that's why I am.
We was enjoying you, man.
Good job. I also appreciate your Chicago swag, Kenny. Where you find that yellow suit? That ain't yellow. That's yellow.
Wonderboy. What is it?
You have no choice. When you see that joint on the timeline, you have no choice but to go in and be like, who is that?
Oh man, I did my best, man. I did my best, brother.
That's swag, Doc. That's swag. I like it. I appreciate it. Kudos for that one, Doc.
I've been enjoying the whole project. In the midst of this pandemic, we've seen a lot of losses, but this has been I've seen a lot of greatness too, man.
Yeah.
So a lot of great things has happened for my brothers and you guys, man. With Charlie, we just celebrated you, man. Talk to us a little bit about how that was for you, man, and over 30-something years in this business, man. And we was in a pandemic, but you wouldn't have thought we was in a pandemic. I had to remember to socially distance because so many people. And yo, this is crazy. Let's say this before Charlie started talking. Charlie had an event. My brother had an event, and people were not supposed to be there like that. But somehow somebody said something, and people was coming. We was like, "Yo, this is too many people," and it was crazy. But how was that, bro? That experience that we just had for you, that was just crazy. We couldn't even socially distance. We had our masks on. We did. We tried. How was that for you?
We tried. Man, I'm blessed. 38 years is a long time to be doing anything. And to be celebrated by your peers is even doper. I don't know who leaked the address. But I didn't have nothing to do with that. As I was on my way upstairs, I saw 80 people sneaking. I said, 80 people are a lot of people to try to hide. Yeah. Yo, 80. I said, now I don't know how 80 people get in, and they got in past security. But the security guard told me all of them was saying they was with the choir. So, and Saints, make sure you get you some security that they ain't wooed by just anybody. But I believe some of them women, they just, they tricked up my security, man. That's not right, but they did. But on a serious note, man, to see souls saved, people delivered in the midst of a pandemic was just insane. And special shout outs to everybody that came. And we're now editing the video and working on the next big thing. So I'm excited, man. It was just dope. And in the middle of a pandemic, I was just shocked when I walked up the stairs, man. You just saw me, little bro, just lose it.
I didn't expect that.
Man. Yeah, I didn't expect it,
I thought it was just going to be the family.
Yeah, I thought it was really going to be the family, man. But I came up there and I just bawled, man. I couldn't stop crying to see so many people that we grew up with on this journey down through the years, the legends and it was something, man. To see it's an amazing thing to see the legends and the newbies in one room working together. I think that for me was the thing that touched my heart, because it's something you don't see today. You don't see us usually working together. Guys, y'all know how it is when we on a bill, we're usually I hate to say up against each other, but y'all know this industry, guys, is so competitive. So to see everybody working together in one room, it was so good to see everybody, seriously. I'm still on a spiritual and physical high from that, man. It was just crazy. I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful, seriously.
It's nothing like having people that you looked up to come back and say what an influence you were to them. And you're like, wow, I used to look up to you. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I know this has been a pandemic, but I don't see no slowing down, and I don't see no slight in this year for you, Jabari Johnson, man. How has that all been for you, man? With everything going crazy, with the Try Jesus and all this, and Jabari Johnson's song is also on the Billboard as well. Fixed Fight, how's everything been going for you, bro?
Man, life is great, bro. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
It has been. It has been in the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah, it's cool. Man, yeah, it's been crazy. I didn't even think I people have stuff on their list that they check off and stuff like that. So being on the BET Awards was never on my list ever, because gospel artists don't usually get on the hip hop awards.
Right.
But yeah, it was crazy, man. When he asked me to come down and do that joint, I was like, oh, this is gonna be crazy, because I don't know if any other gospel artist has been on the BET Hip Hop Awards. So I've always prayed and was like, man, I want to do something that nobody else has done. You know what I'm saying? And then for it to just happen out the blue, I was just like, that's what's up, man. It was fun. Toby is like one of the dopest artists I ever worked with in my life. And I'm not gonna even lie to you. That song wasn't even supposed to go like that, bro. I wrote that song because another gospel artist pissed me off. I'm dead serious.
Tell the truth. Sending diss records out here.
Another gospel artist. Yo, it's literally a diss record, yo. Yo, I was like, man, something pissed me off. I was like, I can't say anything on social media. I can't do this because then it's gonna be a whole nother situation. Then you're gonna end up on the fake shade room, the shade room church, and then
yeah, I was on that.
Yeah, that. So I was on this right here. So I just wrote
last week,
bro. I just wrote the song, and then he hit me and asked me to do the joint. And I was just like, all right, cool. I always wanted to do a song with Toby because I used to play for him like 8 years ago when he first started. So,
bro, for Steve Harvey to talk about you, man, how was that?
Well, he wasn't talking about me. He was talking about the song.
But he said your line in particular.
Yeah. Yeah. But my mom was like, yo, why is my mom and my dad? There was just and a couple of other people was just like, why is he getting all the credit and they ain't interviewing you? I was like, I'm just the feat on the song. But I'm not tripping because at the end of the day, that royalty check is going to
be about it.
Doesn't matter. That's right.
See no more.
You can do as many interviews as you want.
That's right.
Talk about it.
That's right.
That's
right.
Talk about it, brother.
See, people don't understand that aspect. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, but I always wanted to meet Steve Harvey. Never had a chance to, but for him to like be on there singing a song and all that stuff like that, it was pretty cool. So, yeah, I'm happy, bro. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm happy right now.
Man, I'm happy, and I'm happy for you. I like to see my people winning. I like to see people winning.
Yes.
I don't know what that is. What we have. I think it's only in the. I'm sorry to say this. I know this is a church. This is the Strength Talk, but this we're gonna be real. I don't know if Uncle Stan, you correct me if I'm wrong, Elder, but I feel like we only have that issue here in the church. We don't only have it here in the church, but it seems like it's magnified here in the church, where the least amount of money is. That's hilarious. That's hilarious to me because we could see young Jeezy and Gucci Man put their problems aside and go do a live with each other because they understand the business aspect. But then we got little gospel artists that you ain't even seeing that kind of money and can't put differences to the side to work with somebody for the bigger picture, man. Go ahead, bro.
And it's just like me.
Yeah, I just raised your hand and said something.
Yeah. I was about to say it's in the gospel industry. It's different because people have beef with you and then do subliminal messages and stuff like that on Instagram and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
On the other side, it's there too. They just shot a dude on the freeway in Dallas. Beefing with each other. So the difference is gospel artists ain't really about their life. On the other side, they really are.
There's a lot of
go ahead.
There's I'm gonna be real.
He's like, you forgot we was on Facebook. You forgot we was on Facebook Live.
Yeah, man. There's a lot. Okay, look, there's a lot of people that they have a real soft side to them. And
call it like it is.
No, trying to dress it. Yeah, man. For me, it's been interesting as being I came from a writer to an artist, so like I'm having the balance of people not wanting me to be an artist and me to stay a writer. You know what I mean? So. In this pandemic, it's been amazing for me, but it's still been interesting because, there's songs that I put out that I'm like, if I would have gave that to somebody else, it would have been number one. So, it's the fight of me being a writer, and I've been an artist before, I got a national situation, but I haven't had the opportunity yet to be in front of an announcers guild or a stellar stage yet. So riding through this pandemic, you know, as a new artist, it's interesting. Because I wasn't able, right before the COVID hit, I was preparing my group, my choir, and myself to head out to the Stellars so that we could finally say, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jason, who's written all of these songs for all of these artists. Here he is. I haven't had that opportunity yet. So fighting through that and even trying to explain that to your label, you know, you just got to do what you got to do. Dropping videos, everything, doing everything that you can as much as possible, you know, to fight through this pandemic. And God has been really good because he's allowed me to function in multiple genres. And I think that's what's cool right now with me being able to, you know, be in gospel, functioning in CCM, with this choir sessions records that I'm working on, and then about to be on my Jabari next Friday. You know what I'm saying? About to be on my Jabari. I'm saying that because I'm proud of my brother. But about to finally be on my Jabari next Friday with Jack Harlow. So,
let's go.
You know what I mean? So it's just been, you know, just to be able to function in this pandemic, you know, I'm never going to stop writing, you know what I mean? And never going to stop shopping songs and working with people. But there's a balance, I think, with gospel artists, like Jabari said, like they only want you to be one-sided.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if they see that you have a little bit more or a little edge or something, you know, like, I heard somebody told, you know, Rich Tolbert, don't drop his record the same time you dropping this record. You know, I'm like, what? Like, what's that? Like,
that boy got the dopest record I've heard.
The dopest record.
Yeah.
And so my thing is, like,
he's from our city. He's ours. We love him.
You know what I mean? My thing is, why? Who is saying, and why is that a control issue with the upper echelon of artists and stuff that can have that much power to say, "Nah, don't play him. Play this."
You know, I've been seriously praying about that, and then I reached out to even the Trev. I reached out to him. I've been seriously. You know what it is? Especially depending on your upbringing. If you really come from quote unquote the hood, and like Jabari said, everybody they talk a good talk, but they ain't about that life. And then then they don't really know about that life. But what's so sad, even in the gospel, the crab syndrome. That's what's so sad.
It's ridiculous.
The crab syndrome that everybody. And then I'm gonna tell you one thing that set me off, because you got the same way how Jabari said it ain't about that life. And what happened is a lot of them try to be Facebook thugs, and then somebody will run up on them in person, and they say, now we gonna find out. And then so now with our people, you go live, and I be trying to get to these dudes. I try to get them to understand that Facebook, Instagram, all of them is an open market. Right. You can't hide behind your email no more the way you used to do on YouTube behind your email. I can see you saying what you saying. So I'm
gonna walk up on you though when we get to the award show.
You know what I'm saying? So now my clap back is serious.
What was that?
My clap back is serious, especially if I know you a joker that's up in my butt like a thong when you see me in person. But now you want to get on social media and be in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Come on, we all in the industry. You know, it's some dudes, they worse than a chick. If you just speak to them, yo, you see that? Jabari spoke to me, yo. But then you throwing salt on them or trying to throw salt on them on your opinion. All it is your opinion. So it goes right back to crab syndrome. The average, they don't want to see you go forward. So they rather try to pull you down with negative comments and all like that, man. And it's sad that is really in the gospel business. It's really
hold on, guys. Clay, I want to ask you guys this because I'm coming from a different part of the spectrum, Clay and Stan and Keith, coming from the secular world. R&B and pop. Why is it so competitive, guys, in the gospel music field? I'm asking all of you a question because you guys are in that arena. Titus, all of you, Jabari. Why is it so competitive? James, anybody got the answer? I'm just trying to figure this out because I would think since the industry is smaller that you guys would help one another a little bit more.
Sure. That's why we don't.
But what I find with the gospel music industry, and it's just weird. Now, I'm saying this for me. Jabari has experienced this, and I have experienced this from what I've just seen with Jabari. I have gotten a lot of support, guys, from the secular world. And it's crazy that when the secular world supports you, then the church knows you. They love you. And to me, I don't know. If I genuinely rock with you, I rock with you. If I don't rock with you, I just don't rock with you. But in the church world, it's just crazy. Like even at my own event, Trevone, like having hip hop historians there, like Jack Thriller at my event, and then seeing people trying to be cool with me, I'm just like, what? I just don't understand that. Like, be cool with me because I'm a good person and I've got a great heart, not because of my connects or who you think you can get connected to through me. And I don't know, guys, like, what is that about, guys? Please answer it. Anybody, help me understand, with the gospel music being so small, the industry being as small as it is, why don't we work together more? What is that about? Please answer this question for me because I'm just confused.
Dan, you want to take it?
Who, me?
Yeah, because we haven't had you talk.
Yeah, I need to hear from Stan.
Well, I think Pastor Charles, he already pretty much said it in his statement. It's a small industry. That's one thing.
Okay.
Everybody basically knows each other. And the thing is, when you see things on the other side of the fence and how they're living, in a luxurious type of way, a lot of people want that. So by the coinage being as limited as it is, people want all of it because don't start off accumulating large things because you have to work to keep what you have. That's the biggest problem. Wow. When you start off living a certain way and you buy the big house, you buy the boat, you buy this, you buy that, you got to keep that. You don't want to lose it. So a lot of people fight, compete, scratch, crawl in order to hold on to what they have because they don't want to go from the mansion to the one-bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the fighting and all that stuff comes from. I don't understand where the collaborations don't happen because I don't see nothing wrong with that. When you see Drake brag on the fact that he had 200 features this year, but our genre feels like I can't be on no records, I'm only on mine.
That's crazy.
That's stupid.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's two things. It's the producers behind the scenes.
Gotcha.
It's the personal camps of those teams behind the scenes that keep those people. And there's nothing wrong with having camps. Everybody got their own camps, and I understand that. But I think we have missed a whole lot of more community wealth without working together. And I say that because when I ride in Nashville to a girl's house that don't nobody know, and she lives in a gated community that looks like a castle, and I ask her, what do you do for a living? And she writes in CCM, and her husband is a stay-at-home dad.
Different world.
I said, whoa. Or you got Chris Tomlin, Matt Redman, Matt Meyer, a whole bunch of all of them. They come together and they write together and they work together. And a lot of these songs, if you look at the credits, have all of their names on it. So it's more so of we are slow with collaboration.
Jason, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right quick on your point. I just want you to know we do have millionaires in gospel.
Yeah.
We do. We have
Very
plenty
few
of millionaires in gospel music. So.
I can count them.
You can
one hand. Go ahead.
I can count them.
But
one
this is
talking.
the thing.
You want to count them?
I don't know if you can count them.
Maybe some I wouldn't know. Maybe you're right about that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: a lot of them are quiet millionaires.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's nothing wrong with that.
So let me to that point. So you have an upper echelon of artists that a lot of them back in the day didn't really understand the business. So they didn't understand the masters and the splits and the publishing splits and the writer splits, and the newer generation that is coming up really wanted to study that, because you can go on YouTube and find out everything you need to know about it, or like you can just talk to one of them. Like I talked to Donald Lawrence and he told me what it looks like and what is should be mine. So a lot of those songs that were on the radio and things, and some of those artists, they weren't getting the royalty checks. The label was.
Wow.
So that's real important what you just said. So having the talent is half the battle, correct?
Yeah.
Knowing the business is the other side of the spectrum, which is where we talk about this every month that we've done this thing. Only reason why we last week.
Not even half, Trevone.
That's not even half? Go ahead, bro.
Talent is only 20% of the equation.
Oh, you speak. I was trying to be nice. But
only 20. The rest of it is business, and that is the truth. There are a lot of non-talented people who have great business that are more successful than the talented. Let's be real.
I see that
that's
too.
The truth.
I
want to tell you too, Jason. I feel like these sessions are great because they're really just brotherhood talks that we have an audience for. So I want to tell Jason, I just want to encourage you, brother. I hear what you're saying on some things, but man, transitions can be hard. They can be hard, man. Know that. That's the first thing. Secondly, people I don't care what facet of business they're in, they normally give themselves at least a minimum of 5 years just to make a slight impact, just to say, I'm here. You understand what I'm saying? So don't give yourself one record, bro, and be like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's really a tree shaker too. Sometimes some people will haze you on purpose. You will not believe, but I have conversations with people that we have so much admiration for in the gospel music industry, who have done it and done it well, they still feel like they have not arrived yet because the people they admired are not treating them the way that they deserve. I'm just being honest. So you just got to keep going and do what you know you've been called to do. And, the Bible speaks to that as well. So your gift will make room for you, bring you before great men. So keep honing in on the gift, man. I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to everybody listening. It's not about the approval of anyone. When you know who you are and who you've been called to be. I've been in transitions before. I started out as quartet. I was telling the story to you guys before. First time I did Brian Courtney Wilson's record, he didn't want to work with me because he heard all I did mostly was quartet. You know what I'm saying? But again, I had to just ask him to hear, please just listen to this song. And he was like, I ain't really feeling it. So I did a demo lead vocal because I was about to send it to somebody else. And he heard me, he was like, yo, what is that? I was like, it's the same song I let you hear before. But again, it's the transition of walking stuff down. You just got to walk it down and keep going. Be persistent. I don't care what you're doing.
That's so true.
That's good.
That's great,
man.
That's good.
Somebody was telling me something who is a radio announcer. They were telling me that people don't even recognize a new song until X amount of plays of that song. It can be like, I think it was like in the hundreds of plays before people can say, you know what, I think I like that. So that's it's not one time, not 10 times, not even 20 times. It's a lot of times. Before people register in their minds but I think I like this song enough to go and buy it. You understand what I'm saying?
You talking
like
right?
Everything now, don't be done. Everything now is set up for proof. You have to show proof. You're not going to see a movie unless you see the trailer first. If you don't see the trailer, somebody got to tell you that you appreciate that movie was good, bro. Go see it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Everything now is set up in the world to validate you. And I know that could be a plus and a minus to some people because they go through stress in those cases. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people want to see the proof first before they invest in you. But when they see that proof and you do it consistently, then they'll invest in you before they even hear your product. I got to go get that new Jason record. I don't know what he got out, but I know it's got to be great because it's him. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm done.
No, you got to hold
Jason.
Go ahead, Keith.
Just to add on to that, because you can relate to it. Jason, have you ever been on like an updated track?
You talking about?
They got it like a track. You in shape. Track. Right. So you know how they got them numbered 1 through 8. It's like 8 lanes. You got to remember, you've been out here for a minute. So you been in as a support. You was in lane 1 when you was going around with the righteous riders, all of them. Then you jumped lanes when you became as a writer. So now you in another lane as Jason the artist. So you got to give it time, and then everybody else can't do that. So you got to give it time to, you know what I'm saying, to build.
Yeah. I appreciate
How many years did it take? How many years did it take you to get your first hit, Jason? Before people said, "Okay, I'll give you a shot."
It actually wasn't until Better.
So how many years before you say I'm out here starting until
that was 8 years after You're All I Need.
There you go.
Wow.
There you
know
go.
what I mean?
See what I'm saying? Like you're starting
right.
a new phase now. You're brand new. This is a brand new Jason. This ain't the writer Jason who has all the acclaim. This is the artist Jason, brand new person. Period. You a baby right now.
Yeah.
You gotta look at the same way. I'm serious. That's how you have.
Yeah. No. I agree.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And go after it the same way. And kill it.
Kill us all, man. Kill us all. The Bible says it best, man. Don't get weary and well doing, man.
Well doing. That's
in due season, you shall reap if you faint not. That is so true, man. We have to realize who we're working for. And when we the problem comes, we become the headlines and we put Jesus as the footnote at the bottom of the page, man. And we got to keep him as the headline, man. The headline is the stone rolled away. You're working for the right man, bro. Don't get weary and well doing.
That's
in due season, you shall reap if you faint not. Buddy, I put my record out in 19, man, and I did it again because I felt it was a great record anyway, just for me flowing on it. But, my team say, man, let's put Dolly on it. And look what God did, man. He blessed me with a #1 record, man. And I'm thanking him blessing. Because, I'm able to listen. I'm able to hear. It's all about being humble, man, and remembering who you're working for, bro. And God gonna do the rest, buddy.
You know what? I love this. I love this because okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say right quick, and I'm done. Me and Charles were talking off record before this conversation, and after we finished talking, it led me to a scripture that really speaks to what we're talking about now. A Bible says, Psalms 34:19 says, "The righteous person may have troubles, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all."
Out of them all.
But the thing is, he said, the righteous will have trouble.
That's it. That's it.
Will.
That's it.
Like he didn't say this interpretation says you may, but the other scriptures, the hardcore ones, says
stick with the King James Version.
Yes, sir. The King James Version says you will have trouble. But one, he will deliver you out of them all. So it didn't say it's a possibility you're going to go through some stuff. You're going to go through some stuff. Absolutely. Because if you don't go through some stuff, you don't give God a chance to show you who he actually is.
Who he is.
Yeah. What you're saying is so paramount and so real because we always have some talks off the record. And one of the things I was talking about with my manager the other day and a good friend of mine, we were saying, yo, greatness takes a long time. Anybody who's great, they didn't get there overnight. You know what I'm saying? And it may look like it's overnight. They see BET Jabari. They see Try Jesus Jabari being talked about on Steve Harvey's show. They see We Love Disney. They see Titus Showers doing his thing. They see James Mabel traveling all over the world. They see Keith Wonderboy Johnson, Kenny Lewis, Stan Jones, all of us on here. Everybody had a start. You see it now, but you don't know where homie came from. You don't know dude was trying to break in the industry for the past 15 years. R. Kelly, I know that's probably a horrible name to bring up right about now, but R. Kelly didn't break into the industry till he was doggone almost an old man, pretty much considered in the R&B field, because he was just a writer. So people thought, you know what I'm saying? And say what you want about the dude, but his music is still really unmatched when it comes to it's unmatched. The songwriting.
It's funny you say that. I saw not Teddy Riley, but Timbaland and Swiss Beats trying to figure out who in the world could go up against
nobody.
I can't think.
Nobody got more hits than R. Kelly.
About anyone.
Nobody. Have you seen the double DVD? Now that's when you call legendary. When you can do a 2-hour set. You can do a 2-hour set 2 days in a row. The first day, he did all inspirational music. All hits. And then the next day, he came back and just did all the nasty music. But all hits.
Come on up in here.
All hits.
Nasty music. Nasty music.
But what you're saying is so real. People don't understand the process.
Yeah.
And how important is it to stay encouraged while you're in the making, Jabari? How important is that to stay encouraged while you're in the making?
Well, I hit up Stan and all them probably once a month, because it can be discouraging sometimes. With everything that I've done this year, I still it's certain things that'll come out and it make you feel like, man, I really ain't did nothing. Like when everybody was posting their Spotify joints and how many streams they got, I was looking at I was like, I ain't really did much. You know what I'm saying? But it make you feel some kind of way, because you feel like you've done a lot, and it's discouraging. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I was hard on myself yesterday. I text Kaya today and was just like, yo, what am I doing wrong? Like, what do I need to do? You know what I'm saying? But then I got back in this and I was just like, you know.
I'm gonna say something about
print
that.
Print it out and frame it, bro.
Hey, go ahead, put it up and frame it, and I'm gonna say something about
print
that.
Print it out and frame it, because where Jabari Johnson is going, he's gonna look back at that and be like, man, that was
exactly.
You know what? Y'all just encouraged me, man, because I just thought about it, and you know, you gotta. I feel like you gotta appreciate, and thank you, Keith. You gotta appreciate the journey, and then you gotta appreciate and take time to think about where you are right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And what God is doing, and the way He's doing it to catapult you into the way He wants you to be in this industry. You know what I mean? What excuse me, what you might think the way that the way you see it, or you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because I felt like that too, Jabari. I was like, man, what am I doing? Am I not doing something right? What is there something wrong? It ain't nothing wrong. It's just His timing and the way He wants to do it. So I think this right here should have been done years ago in our industry.
It should have.
Because it could have been a lot of stuff hashed out and maybe more togetherness, you know, in our industry, if this would be happening right here. I mean, of course we live, but I'm just saying the fact
it's happening with us.
It's happening.
man.
Yeah, man.
And let me tell you something. Sometimes you got to be the change that you want to see. So
that's it.
I can't say somebody else to do it. Let me do it. You know what I'm saying? Let you do it. You be that spark. Tupac said it best. He said, I may not change the world. He said, but I hope something I say may spark something in that dude who will change the world, that woman or that man that will change the world. The change starts with you. Go ahead, bro.
I want to say this to Jason and to Jabari. Anytime you are leaving a fossil print, it will take people years to catch up with your genius. And to me, you boys are not just singers. You guys are real artists. And when I think of the greats, when I think of Donny Hathaway and Marvin Gaye and Prince, it took them years to catch up with their genius. You have to be okay with being on God's divine clock, because his clock is not where you think it should be. But when God releases you to the audience that he has for you, it's perfect timing. I say to both of you boys, Jason, Jabari, please, y'all, just stay focused. The Bible says that it's better to keep a vow than to break a vow. Remember the vow you made to God. And if you keep that, and if you stay in tune with that, I'm telling you, you boys are going to change the world. I'm seeing what you're doing, Jason. And I support you, and I push you, because I believe in what you're doing. And it's so easy to look at what's not being done. But bro, you are making an impact, Jason. I really mean it.
Big impact.
Yes.
I mean, I go to your page and I just get lifted, and I can't wait for the world to catch up with your genius. Jabari, the same thing with you. You to me, you both are the sound, you know, the reason behind the sound. So what a story to be told. I really think for you, Jason and Jabari, it's going to be more than an album. I think I'm going to prophesy and just decree this over the both of your lives. It's going to be a movie. It's going to be a movie. It's going to be a movie. It's going to be something we have to pay a ticket to see, because the type of things that you guys are doing, even with Jabari, learning how he wrote that song. You're the man behind the sound, Jabari. So just be encouraged. Jason, you are the reason behind the sound. Like, be encouraged, bro. Just please, because y'all are just touching so many lives out here that you boys don't even know. Who cares about the numbers? Like, just understand you guys are changing lives. And I say that in all confidence to each of you that are up here. I support all of y'all. Yeah. I mean it. I feel like we've got enough on this broadcast between Kenny and Titus.
Everybody on here.
And I'm seriously, James, we've got enough.
And I want to say this
here to change the world.
I want to say this, bro, real quick. Shout out to Richard Talbot. I tagged him and he came in. We were just talking about you, Rich, and I don't believe in talking about anybody behind their back. We weren't talking anything negative, so that's the good part. So we were talking all positive, and we want to say we love you. You are our own, and keep doing your thing, Lil Rich. We love you, man.
Yeah, man. Can I share this with you?
Ahead,
this is not just for Jason and Jabari. This for everybody up here.
Everybody that's watching.
Yeah.
You guys that's up here. Fact.
I know I went through what I went through, not just for me, but for my brothers to hear this too. Now you looking at somebody and hearing somebody that gave up, that quit.
Literally.
And this was after success. And
this
I
was
have
over.
a living, yes, this is after winning Stellars, being on tours, doing stuff in the whole nine. And I got a living witness in Stan Jones that I quit. And this is what helped me get back to where I need to be and get focused. All of us have faced that word no and have been turned down in the whole nine. So now with the modern day, how he said numbers count. Don't get caught up in the 15 crabs or haters, how you want to call it, because they got your attention. They telling you you're not good enough. You played out or anything like that. Because of the world we in now, you forgetting about You listening to those 15 naysayers, you forgetting about the 100,000 that just haven't contacted you, that you blessed.
True.
What
Well,
you
that's
doing,
a fact.
have been a blessing.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
For example, I can, like I said, Stan is my witness. Stan called me. I was so through to be on one of the biggest television productions in gospel. And I turned it down. I was that frustrated.
Wow.
I turned down the final season of Bobby Jones. I said, I'm not coming. I'm through with the industry. But just example, how it blessed me, Jabari. When I walked into the session, the Ricky Dillard session, you remember what you and Q said to me? They said, we handpicked you. We wanted you for what? Because we knew what you was bringing to the table. We knew what you was going to do. We didn't have to have rehearsal. We knew what you was going to bring. So everybody here, everybody brings something special. Like Charlie said, you bring something special. It's some people that you can touch that Kurt Franklin ain't gonna touch them.
Exactly.
They set up for you to reach them.
You got to
just remember that, fella.
Now that's a whole fact, and with you got to wait. Though it may tarry, that means take a long time. You got to wait. The blessing is near. You just can't give up. Consistency will always win at the end of the day.
Sure will. There are benefits in the wait.
It's benefits in the wait.
There are benefits in the wait.
I was just telling somebody recently that my next thing with myself, that I'm trying to train myself to learn how to handle opposition efficiently.
Wow.
I
That's
like
so
that,
good,
Stan.
Uncle.
I
That's
like
good,
that.
Uncle.
I like that.
That's good.
I'm trying that's something I'm working with internally. I want to learn how to master opposition, not only to master it in a way, but to master it in a way that I am effective in the middle of it and know what it is in the middle of it. I was watching something on Netflix the other day about one of my favorite movies. It's a Christmas movie called The Elf. Everybody knows that movie with Will.
Right.
One of my favorites. So the story is, when the guy turned in the script, they got turned down by every studio there was. Everyone. Nobody thought it was anything. They could not find a director. They ended up getting Jon Favreau. They didn't want him because he had never really directed before. So nobody wanted to invest anything. They didn't want Will Ferrell because he wasn't a star at the time. So all these different phases of opposition that, I'm talking about miles of them, just to get to one of the biggest all-time movies in Christmas in history.
Love it.
You got to be okay with that. You got to be okay, see that and keep pushing, because if you know what's actually inside of you, you will keep pushing.
You will.
Be determined to make people a believer. There's something special in everybody on this call.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And you just said something key. Go ahead. Go ahead. Keep breaking it down.
Go ahead. Keith, you about to say something?
No, I said
that's what inspired me to write that song. Keep pushing. That was from really serious. So I just believe that it's gonna catch on again. It's more work for that song to do because it got to get into some other people's spirit. That's why I need Jason to do a CCM version of it, and then Jabari, you go and remake it. I need all y'all to go.
There you go.
Let's do it.
There you go.
Let's do it.
Try the song with it. Don't try me. Let's do it.
What I'm saying is, to summarize, though, the most successful people in business and their equation to get to the height of the success or whatever situation, they already calculate opposition in that equation, to expect. So that's what I'm saying to everybody here and everybody watching, be okay with that and learn from it. If everything was great and gravy, nobody would be as strong as they are now on this call. And keep right. I called Keith one day when he was going through that season, and he just sounded like he was defeated. I was like, bro, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, do you know who you are? Do you, man, please, are you kidding me? And
everybody needs a stand. Everybody needs that person that'll pull them out of that slump. You know what I'm saying? Because the road may be dark for me if I can't see the way. I need somebody to know enough about me, or know God enough to see that and pray me through that. How important is it to have good relationships in this season? Kenny Lewis, jump on in. I know it's been a minute since you said something, Brody.
Well,
and you see how we do. If you got something on your heart, man, jump in. Especially if you feel like it might go, jump in.
You know what? I put a couple things down while everybody was talking. It's ironic that me and Jason have been having this conversation about brotherhood and support and how vital it is in this time. Let me say this. I got a couple things. I think that all of this is wonderful, but we have to change the culture. Otherwise, we get swallowed up into the same culture that we don't appreciate. What are you saying, Ken? I'm saying if we do people like we've been done, we're just as guilty. If I can't see Jason's stuff, Charlie's stuff, James' stuff, and I share it, I retweet it, I share it on social media, I'm just as guilty as the culture that I'm offended by. So we have to change the narrative or just be consumed with what is our displeasure. Another thing is everybody was encouraging Jason, and Jason is my guy. I always tell him his pen is incredible. But here is the thing for me, and you guys may disagree with me. For me, everyone's path is not the same.
No, it's not.
Because it may have taken me 10, 20 years, what have you. That does not mean that Jason's future is advanced or aborted by people. Sure. When your focus is God, it's all in God's time. His favor is on your life. It's your destiny is not in the hands of people. And I'm saying this from personal experience, man. Sometimes God will give you exactly what you need, and will depend on people to help us go to the next level. I am a prime example. You are looking at a prime example where I felt like if you don't, I don't need my notes anymore. If you don't have a certain name, then you do not get the respect in the industry. You can have the same. You're producing your post, everything can be top notch, but you won't get the respect because there's like a gatekeepers where we don't want to let the next person take the mantle and move. It's different in hip hop. Hip hop, they share the stage. They're looking for who can I get a feature with? Who can I do this with? Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I stepped out on faith, and I don't mean to take up this time, but I stepped out on faith. I knew I wanted Jenkins. I knew I wanted Pastor Charles Jenkins. He has eight number ones. I knew I wanted him on my project. I called him. He said, Ken, I've been wanting to work with you for the longest. I knew when I saw Tiffany on Sunday Best, before I top 3, I had my manager hit her. I got the song perfectly tailor-made for her. I want her. She said, cool. Michael Lampkin, he said, cool. And so, man, God starts saying, hey, I gave you this stuff. Some stuff is, I know the business. I've studied the business. But sometimes we depend on people to advance us when it's right in our own backyard.
That's so good.
And you can be more fulfilled. I've had the nose, man. Now, this is God's on everything I love. This is the experience. I reached out to people like, man, I think I have a great project, something great. Man, can we partner? The no's or the non-responses. But bro, do you know how fulfilling it is when you do the grind, you do the work on your own, and God just makes the increases. That's the thing. Sir. We want to. Charles hit a lot of points. We want to say you have to do this. You have to do that. I think that you have to work and still have God make the increase. I pray to ask God. I say, God, I want things that are not gospel. I want to come on up in here. People that I may never get to see or meet or touch. That the music would transcend to them. I prayed that prayer, man. I'm just gonna keep it real. People were reaching out for interviews. My project has only been out a week from just seeing me on Instagram.
So
you know, I can go down the litany, man. And I'm just honored, man. I put this on a post the other day. I thank God for every opportunity that is granted to me, man.
Yes,
and I mean that from my heart. For Kim to just say, hey, Kenny, come on my show. And within 24 hours, you got 35,000 views, and you give me a half hour on your platform. For James Brown's daughter and Isaac Hayes' daughter on Soul Sister, just to give me an opportunity, man. And I think it's those kind of things that we cherish. But here's the thing, Trey. I'm not going to be an artist the rest of my life. I want to create a path where the younger generation behind me can come through my label, that I can push, that I can say, hey, man, something that I didn't have. So I go back to my first point. We cannot do people like we've been done. Otherwise, we're a part of the problem.
That's great, man.
I love that. And what you said was so on point. It was so on point. And like I said, that's why we got to be the change we want to see. It starts with us. We can't say, so-and-so needs to do better if we're not doing better. I concur. And I don't believe in convention talk. That's one thing I could say about everybody on this line today. Maybe somebody else may be with it, but I'm talking about everybody that's on this line today. Normally when I hit whoever up, whatever you say you're going to do, you do. You know what I mean? That's my experience with you. Somebody else may not have that. Somebody watching may be like, oh, they didn't do it for me. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You dudes, do what you gonna say. You know what I'm saying? That is extremely imperative to make sure that you're keeping your word. How important is it to keep your word and have integrity, James Mabel?
Man, that is
Titus Showers. We coming to you next.
That is the other facet of what not just in terms of just the industry, but just as a man. My daddy taught me that your word is your bond. And when you walk in that, I'm a huge believer that God honors that. It is unfortunate, and as Kenny was talking, it just hit me that not only just in the industry, in terms of keeping the word and wanting to push and bring others along, there are a lot of people who have the baton that don't want to let go. As Stan was saying earlier, and so when it comes to, and I've been there too, when people have told you all kind of stuff, hey, I'm gonna call you and we're gonna work on this. I see you doing this, blah 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 blah, and you never hear from them. And so then it puts this, as Jabari was saying, it puts that disappointment and that frustration because it's like, when is it going to happen for me?
Right.
But when you walk in integrity, that spreads faster, and your character spreads faster than your talent could ever go, because it's like, you know what? At the end of the day, when the lights are off, when it's not showtime, I can count on a Stan, a Titus, a Jabari, a Charles Perry, a Jason to be that man, be that person that they've been called to be. And so integrity is everything. Put the microphone down, put your Bible down, put your credentials down, put everything down. What does your integrity say? And integrity is going to encompass everything that you do going forward.
I love that. And integrity will keep you. I'll say that. And talent will get you some exposure sometimes, but your character will keep you.
And Trey, let me say one thing. Just to sum up what just hit me. And I don't know if it's just a culture thing, as Kenny was saying, and then just to speak to what Jason was saying, when it comes to integrity and collaborating and pushing forward and wanting everybody to move forward and go up. In our culture, people are okay with you as long as you're not doing better than them.
We just spoke about that. The crab in the barrel mentality. Fact.
Don't start nothing, James.
I don't know. I don't see that. And I have relationships with white counterparts and things like that. But I know it's everywhere. But it is so prevalent that our integrity is forfeited because we waste our time in trying to find the tea and the dirt on the next gospel artist and trying to put them down. And, you know, they good, but.
Yeah, man.
Well, I'm going to say that. I'm going to say this to this. And I'm going to piggyback on what my brother said, what Bari said the other day. At the end of the day, they like what you do. They love it. They may even love what you do. That don't mean they love you. And that resonates with me because I was like, yeah, that's true. There's a lot of dudes, we love what they do. I don't mean we love that person per se, because outside of what they do, you don't even know at home they're depressed. They're going through whatever they're going through. You don't check on them to see. All you worried about is when they're putting out their next, you know, whatever, you know, to be a blessing to you. You're not thinking about these dudes in their personal life. And I wanted to say something else to you as well, Bari, as when you was talking about earlier about everybody putting up their rap posts. Some of it is authentic and some of it isn't. And I'm gonna leave that right there. You know what I'm saying? So my work will speak for me. And at the end of the day, your work will speak for you. I don't need a post to say I did well this season. If I did better than I did last season, I know I progressed. And that's all that matters to me. For those of you that's watching, shout out to those that's watching from Detroit, Houston. I see you. Much love to you. And I saw your questions too, but we've been having a good dialogue. And if I have time, I'm gonna get to them because this platform is to be some to give some strength to you guys as well. Mabel, you wanted to say something?
Just one, because I've been in the corner, just been chilling in the cutoff here. But I want to say this to Barney and Jason over here. Too many times, and I've been guilty of it. Not that you all have walked in it, but you were talking about that frustration, Jabari. I remember when Jabari was playing for the Culture Church back in the day, like in Houston, like all the way back in the day. He and his brother Nick. And sometimes a prophet is not without honor in his own country. And you know, sometimes your home or your foundational background will just be too common. And they'll say, oh, that's just Jabari. You got Titus in Louisiana, you know, he and Hammond, that's just Showers. That's just the Showers family. Or that's just Jason. They become too common with the gift. But then when God in his divine providence, as Kenny was saying, puts people in their life and helps usher them to where they need to be, or he just showers his favor, then, oh, that's our homeboy, or that's our dude. You know, he that's our boy. We claim him now. But I'll say to you, Jason, and just everybody, I've learned that, and as the scripture says, and this is what keeps me settled when I feel like my rap is not as thick, Jabari, as everybody else's. You to the world, or to one person, you mean the entire world.
That's it.
The scripture says when one comes to salvation, the whole host of angels in glory have an absolute fit.
Good teaching.
So what you're doing to one person, you are saving them from pulling the trigger.
Well, come on in here.
You're saving them from driving off the bridge, just to one person. So that's, as I move traveling to God, as we all are moving this pandemic and God is opening doors, just think about the one, bro. It's more than one out there being touched, but there's just one that is just absolutely saying, God, I thank you, because the moment your lips part, they hear God.
Dr. Mabel, man.
I'll say this because I'm trying to give you an organ, James, because you going in right now. I'm trying to give you an organ, Doc.
Keep that organ taking me out, Keith. That ween.
What kind of win is that?
That win.
Oh, you need a tune-up.
right, Charlie.
Bari, you had to say something.
Win. Yo.
Nah, I was just going off of what James said. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that do that stuff. I you know me, I don't care. I hate niggas like that.
Like what?
Like, yo, I hate niggas like that. They just be like, yo, man, I remember when you blah blah blah, and they start saying that in front of the wrong people. Man, I was back there with Jabari back when he was.
Right.
I'm just like, my nigga, can you like shut up? I had somebody to tell me, don't you think don't you think you better than anybody else? Because I remember when you wanted to kill yourself. I said,
what?
Wow.
Who would say some crap like that?
Niggas out there do it. They do it.
They
Niggas
do
is
it, bro.
Crazy.
Niggas is crazy.
It's crazy, man.
Wow. And, you know, it's just like that kind of stuff. It get to you, and I just be like, man, niggas really out here crazy, bro. Like for no reason. Just say you proud of a nigga and just keep it pushing.
Right, just keep it moving.
In the past.
Exactly.
It's hard. It's hard for people to do that because, you know, they see the different levels of how God is blessing. Yeah. And that's for everybody on here. Like I'm a fan of everybody that's on here because I know who I am. I know who God created me to be. There's a lot of people in our industry that don't really know who they are. And when I say that, I'm saying as people
that can preach right there, man.
Move the artist out of the way.
Right.
Because some people, like, there's a lot of people that can't have a conversation with you, and it feels weird when you sit around them and try to talk to them. Like, I've been around artists where I'd be like, dude, you can't even be like, we can't laugh and talk. Like you, I remember when I met Dolly on Radio 1 cruise, I was singing background with his, and Dolly was singing background with Todd Tribbett.
Right.
You know what I mean? And me and Dolly was playing spades, and that's how I met Dolly. Playing spades. I mean, he was just cool. We was clowning on the boat, having a good time. But there's a lot of people that can't have a conversation.
That's
you know
crazy.
what I mean? And they don't really know who they are. I've been around some major people that are just now in their 50s really figuring out how to live their life.
That's crazy.
What you just said is so profound, man. And shout out to Pastor Vincent Bohannon. That's all. We love you.
Yeah, what up, Vince?
But what you just said was so everything, bro. Because you said knowing who they are. Listen, this is what we talk about this every other month. You can't look in my backyard as a measuring stick for what you should be doing, bro. My path is not your path. My way is not your way. That's what Kenny was saying earlier. What it took for me, it don't take for you. You know what I'm saying? You got a different gift from me. I'm different. I'm built different. Yeah. You built different. Do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do, and we gonna all succeed at the same time. There's power in being you. You ain't gotta be nobody else. And the problem we run into, Jay, is why I wanted to cover that, is because dudes have a problem. I'm gonna say it like Bari would say, niggas got a problem with being them. They want to be somebody else. They want to be. They want your gift. They want your gift.
They don't know, Trev.
So pull the gift out of the way.
Right.
Like sit it over here.
Facts.
They don't know who they are. Like if I sit down and I talk to Jabari, I talk to Keith, we can just have a regular nigga conversation.
Right.
Them wings was fire. Man, I had them wings. I mean, you watch the Lakers? Man, right. LeBron. There's some cats that can't even don't do that because we're gonna coming back.
Repeat.
Not as long as my Warriors got something to say about
it. Klay Thompson is hurt, Jabari. Take a seat.
You know,
I'm sorry. I love y'all. Y'all can have a seat. Klay Thompson hurt.
Right.
Did you see the other day that they were trying to make a trade for James Harden?
It's not happening, bro. It's not happening.
That man is not getting rid of no James Harden.
And let me tell you,
he said, I gotta get
James ain't going nowhere.
And let me tell you this much. Are they going? Is the NBA going to start allowing them to play with two basketballs?
That's the only way that's going to be. Ball dominant. Jay's too ball dominant, man.
Well, if we get James Harden, you can't double nobody on the team.
Yes, you can.
It's not
Curry don't want Curry ain't got to create his own shot. Curry can stay over in the corner.
Oh, please.
Jabari, that ain't gonna never work, man.
Jabari, did you get my tag?
Curry ain't clutch like that.
Get my tag. I don't know what you're doing.
Listen, really sorry for the people that may not be sports. Sorry for the people that may not be sports fans. We're talking about basketball right now. Anyway, NBA. Anyway, go ahead.
Catholic school. I was part of the champions, man. I really thought I was going late first round on this draft, man. That draft was so weak. I thought I had a chance this year, man. Jabari, you ain't respond to me. Me. I
what?
Supposed to pick me. I thought I was getting drafted.
Oh,
point. You better check the books.
Keith, you sleepy, Keith.
Keith,
you sleepy.
He acting a fool.
He need a nap.
You need a nap. It's time to go to bed.
Night. Check the record books. I am the starting point guard for the Nazareth Kingsmen.
I'm going to ask Uncle Phil about this.
Now, I used to kill for at Sean.
I'm going to ask Sean and Uncle Phil about this. I don't know nothing about
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
I used to kill Bishop Lachlan. I used to kill Sean Gibbs with the Bishop Lachlan. I used to give it to him. And coming
Keith,
out
you
there.
got these people cracking up in this chat. I want to let you know that. They just laughing.
Keith, what's that?
Keith, I'm willing to bet that with a torn meniscus right now, I can still shoot that.
You know who you sound like? I had to get them the business. Ray Beatty, Isaac Kareem. You got a couple of dudes they took a good dunk.
Me and Ray hooped against each other.
Well, Isaac Kareem just talked. He could ball a little bit.
I proved my point at New Birth.
Jonathan McReynolds could ball.
The Stellars had a celebrity game at New Birth that year. When I was like, Doc, I gave it to him. I was giving them the business. They ain't believe.
You gave them the water.
Right. I'm gonna tell you right now, you cannot court no. You're gonna have to spot up and shoot, baby. Spot up and shoot. Hopefully you got a shot.
Nah.
That's it.
Now, man. Yo, I think different. Even like when we was playing the celebrity game and Ty was on the team, Ty played just like, his show. He just was running all day. I just say, one good stiff. I can't.
Yo.
I was like from the Knicks in Detroit. I said one good stiff elbow gonna stop all that.
Speaking, since we changed it to sports, speaking on this, and this is still Strength Talk because we still want to empower you people. At the same time, our counterparts in the industry, those of you that's watching, I love you. Shout out to Houston, Texas in the building. We saw greatness take place last weekend.
Yes, we did.
For Tyson and Roy Jones.
Yes, we did.
To be able to get in.
Yes, we did.
Was not. You said
that was great.
I disagree.
Tyson is
don't start, Keith. Don't start.
Don't start, please.
I want my money back.
And I'm from Brooklyn.
Tyson won.
Tyson is my man.
Tyson won. And I'm not going into this with y'all. Tyson won. That's it.
But that was a HURS fest. That wasn't a fight.
But I'm gonna be honest. Roy didn't come to fight.
Roy didn't come to fight. He came not to get hurt.
Tyson was ready.
Yeah,
Tyson was ready.
Tyson
could have kept going some more rounds.
But catch what I'm saying. Catch how I'm about to fillet
in the backyard.
How I'm about to rotate this into the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tyson, one of the greatest of all times, is still able to operate at a high level at 54.
Amazing.
You know how much amount of work he got to put into his dieting, his workout, to make sure that he's able to perform at a high level. Same thing with King James. The same thing with all of these other NBA players we're talking about. For those of you that call yourself gospel artists or any kind of artist in any kind of way, Titus, explain to them the amount of work it takes to stay in shape and to stay on top at all times of your game. Not nobody else's game, your game.
It's very important, man. Even for stage stamina purposes, when you jump up and down, man, you get too winded, then that affect your execution, man. So you definitely need to make sure you try to eat right, make sure you try to get you some exercise in, build up your stage stamina, man. Cardio is very important when you're out there ministering, man, because the people won't have paid to hear you minister what they heard from the CD. So they don't want to hear all those excuses. I had a bad night and this and that. You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready to go out there and execute and bless the people of God. And it's all, I like to look smooth, big dog. I wear my hats, big homie. I got a nice swag, so I like to at least look presentable for when I'm out there. Absolutely, man. I like to look fly when I'm out there ministry, man. So that stage stamina is important, man. It's very necessary, man. It's necessary.
Am I the only person that feel like Titus Showers is about to preach every time he started talking?
Every time.
Yo, this Jabari is crazy.
Every time he on, he gotta say something.
Jabari, your legs still messed up.
Oh God!
Hey, let me hear it, Jabari. Man. I guess that's my tone, man.
What you say?
You hurt your leg playing basketball?
Yeah, I tore my Achilles, my hamstring, and my meniscus all on my right leg.
Your NBA career is over,
okay.
man.
Now let's just go
but
right
I'm
back
still
to
a beast.
One of your brothers was just lane when they were saying you got to know who you are and what you do. Mm-hmm. So you are a gift to the church and the music community. Leave that basketball. You got to know who you are. Leave that alone.
Yo.
He said all that to say
I'll tell you this, though. I'll tell you this.
I ain't trying to pay no $20. What Titus just said. Ain't nobody trying to pay no $20 tickets and you come rolling out there with that little bicycle on your leg.
Oh, my God, yo.
Hey, Key, I'll say this, though. I tore my meniscus hitting the game-winning shot, though. Like Ray Allen from the three-point line.
PAL.
Oh, PAL. Remember PAL?
Stop it. Stop.
Yo, speaking of brotherhood and all that stuff, as we were talking earlier, how important is it for us to cover each other in this season? We all see what's going on, the videos that are coming out about this one and that one. I don't know why these people are not learning. If you don't want something to get out, you probably shouldn't record it. However the case may be, what do we say or do we not say? What do we do in the instance for our brothers? Should we cover our brothers in this season?
Well, what's right is right. My dad taught me do good and good will follow you. And all of that comes to what James was saying. When you put all the talent, the first thing you ought to be is a man. Okay. Besides being an artist, writer, musician, whatever, be a man. And when you a man, you do certain things. So it takes a man, just like what frustrates Jabari, it takes a man. You have to be a man because you have a choice. You can either be a man and be like, yo, Jabari, that new track, I'm feeling that. And you mean that. And you become a fan or whatsoever, and you support them. Or you can be the other choice, what a lot of dudes do, they choose to be a hater. So you gotta, some things you gotta cover them, because guess what? I'll put it like this. I said on stage, ain't nobody was born in Bethlehem. But some stuff you just can't cover everything. You know.
Can I say this? I'm gonna go to it from a different angle. Ain't no standard.
I'm scared, bro. What you about to say?
No, I'm gonna keep it real low.
Keep it a buck.
Just feel like I'm gonna keep it a buck though. It ain't no standards in the church anymore like there was when my great grandmother and great grandfather and all of them came up. And my grandmother, there were standards. You know, wasn't nobody perfect. Right, bro. Nobody's perfect, and you know we all have done things we shouldn't have done. But there's a standard, and there's no privacy to your life anymore. And then also too, there was a standard when I'm gonna say this, and let me put it like this: when I had my daughter out of wedlock, the church sat me down.
Me too, man.
Me too.
My brother had to apologize in front of.
I had to apologize.
Listen, me too. Me too. I had to apologize in front of the whole church on a Sunday morning.
Same thing happened to him.
Directors and the worship leaders at the church. And they sat me down. And the only way that I could come back to direct and sing was if I was there every Wednesday, every Sunday, and at prayer.
Yes, sir.
Where's the standard?
All right. I'm gonna say this. Some people feel that there isn't, because we had this conversation before. Some people feel that there isn't any biblical principle to making people apologize in front of the whole church.
That's what I'm talking about. There's no standard. So it's we support you and you pat me on the back. No, you need to get a belt, and you need to feel that sting. You need to feel that sting of the belt. And sit down.
I think getting in front of the church is a little much, though. I don't know. I'm talking about. I didn't sin in front of the church. I owe God an apology, and I'm gonna repent, and I'm gonna talk to my pastor if it done got out, some stuff like that, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, getting in front of the church, that's just like getting on social media telling everybody you sorry for something. These niggas don't care about you. Like I said last week, they don't care, bro. No matter how much good you do one thing wrong, they gonna hang you. They gonna lynch you on the internet. And just like you said, back to what you said, you just gotta have some kind of privacy about your life.
But my thing is
everything don't need to be recorded. I got friends that I've been friends with for almost 15 years, and we all hang out. If you pull your phone out in front of us and start doing this, you gotta go.
Right.
Gotta go. Period. Like, we don't do that. Like, we hang out together. If we gonna chill, kick it, have fun, and all that stuff like that, let's do that. Put them phones up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the problem. Everybody want to be. Hey, look at us. Look at me. No, man, put it down.
But my thing is, somebody there should have been some talk somewhere. Hey, bro, look, or hey, girl, look. You know what I'm saying? Look, that was out of order. There was no. It was more, we love you. We support you, instead of, no, that was wrong.
Jay, that's what we saw, but we don't know who said something behind the back. We saw.
Plus, I will say it's not my responsibility to.
Yeah, you're right.
Not saying I won't hold anybody accountable, because my friends, we hold each other accountable. They always on me about something. You know what I'm saying? They stay in the group chat trying to talk about me. Yeah, but it's not my responsibility to go out here and try to down another man and talk down on another woman, because let's be honest, everybody got something that they don't want to get out.
Sure.
Let's be real.
That's true.
If it got out,
Jabari, I think it's what you said,
God
though.
has been covering us. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's what you said, though. It's the accountability is what I'm talking about. It's the accountability. If I do something crazy, somebody gonna call me and be like, Jay, take that down. Don't say that. Yeah. You don't need to do that. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. Like, that ain't you right now. I know you're frustrated, but chill out on that. There's no where's your accountability partner is what I'm saying.
Now this is where I say, you do something crazy or something crazy happen, and you just up the next day preaching, it do look crazy. It do look a little sus. But it ain't my church. I can't tell people how to operate. However, I'm praying for any one of my brothers and my sisters out here in this struggle that's going through whatever, because my brother tell you, if people that know me, anybody will tell you, I got a past as well. You know what I'm saying? My past is different, of course. I sold drugs, I gangbanged, I did a lot of foolishness that where y'all wouldn't be like, yo, how is this dude doing what he does right now when he used to be that? I'm not what I did. I understand that aspect of it too. However, before I came on this side of the spectrum, I did have to get some of those things right. I'm still not perfect. I don't sell drugs anymore. I don't live that kind of life. I'm not coming with the gun and running up in your spot. No, I'm not doing that kind of thing anymore. However, you get what I'm saying without me having to go there. I had to address them.
Bro, you used to rob people? Jeez.
You used to sell drugs, Trev?
Okay. Hey, where's my support? Where's my support?
don't know nothing about the struggle.
Why don't y'all tell me to go on and tell me to be encouraged? Don't condemn me.
I didn't know you.
I was a.
Now you gonna say I didn't know you was doing all of that.
Hey, I
didn't know you then. I didn't know you.
Hey, Trev.
Had them bricks,
Trev.
I blame Charlie.
I didn't even know it.
My brother's here. He'll tell you.
Charlie, I blame you.
No, but you know what? Let me tell y'all something. Trevone has come a long way. This nigga would rob you at gunpoint. I'm serious. My brother, people don't know, he really, really come a long way, and I'm proud of him. Because that last time you went to jail, Trevone, I was over you. Remember when you came home and you kissed me on my forehead, and I was like, "Don't touch me." Yo, I was pissed with him, y'all. When he got locked up for the last time, I was done with him. But he really changed his life. He really did, y'all.
Have a struggle. I agree with Jabari. Everybody had a struggle. Like, see, Trey, back in the day, I didn't even know. I was the assistant pimp, and I didn't even know it.
Okay.
But listen, y'all, to add on to what Kenny and them was saying, Jason, I really feel people have lost their fear of God.
Yeah.
You know, when we were coming up, y'all, we didn't care about impressing people. We all knew that we had a responsibility to the call, and we had to protect our response and also protect our potential. Now, I'm going to say this to you young people. If you can't practice deliverance, at least use discretion. Yes. That's at the least. To me, you have to care about your life. When you have the responsibility of being in the forefront, we don't expect you to be perfect. We know you're not Jesus. We know you're not a fixture, but you have to respect the call. And I just don't see a fear of God. That's all I'm saying. I'm not talking about, I'm not calling nobody out. I feel like, guys, and maybe it's just me, I feel like we have lost the fear and ammunition of God. And we just have this thing that we don't all have to die someday and answer to God. I just feel like we are just living our lives, doing our thing, pretending things are going to go our way. And we just have to remember, we've got a charge to keep, and I would just say to all of you young people, those of you that have these platforms and you want these major numbers, make sure your conduct matches your music. Make sure that your life mounts up to your music, because you got to protect. Listen, I don't care what field you in. I don't care what genre you're in. You still have to protect your potential. And that's what I feel. Listening to you guys, I feel like there is no fear of God. When I look at this internet and some of this stuff I see, I'm like, wow.
I mean, it's the difference of a generation. We come from a generation.
I believe you, bro.
Yeah, we like I said, they might experience what but we knew better. If we hit it, we'll be like, I smell.
We got beat though. No, seriously, we got beatings. Your father, Keith, Phil would have beat us. Stupid. Any stupidness like that, it wouldn't have happened, bro.
I agree with you. I just think this new generation, they have no fear of God.
It's no fear, bro. It's no fear.
James Mabel been trying to get in. Jump in, bro.
I'm so sorry, James.
No, you good. Sorry. No, you good. This is all legit and so right. And what Keith just said is so powerful. The generation.
Mm-hmm.
It always goes back to it's no coincidence. It just always kind of channels back to the word, fellas. The Bible says these generations get wiser but weaker.
Yes. That's true. That's so good.
And so when it comes to that, there is a level of respect that has been decreased because we had that was Sunday school. There was sit your behind down and we're gonna have this Bible study, or you're gonna get slapped across the head. Or there was a direction of biblical principle and teaching and foundation. And even if we didn't like it and we said it was boring, I'm sick of church and tired of this, our parents and those who loved us are going to make sure we're going to do what we needed to do to be in the best conduct. Even though I'm a pastor's son, I'm a PK. What they say, PKs are the worst. All that kind of character.
That's true.
But let me say this: Proverbs says this, man. wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy.
Woo!
So I would rather have somebody in my corner check me and say, as Jason was saying, say, listen, Doc, I'm not bothered about, forget your gift, forget how many people following you, forget your platform.
Yep. Tell me the truth.
I'm gonna take you back to what we've been discussing the whole night. Integrity. It goes back to that. And so, you know, I would rather have that kind of person in my corner and being there, it makes such a huge difference because I'm the kind of person that, man, the truth of the matter is, even though, like I said, we got folk from all over the world watching right now. But here's the truth. The old statement folks used to say, what I do don't hurt nobody.
That's not true.
That's a lie.
It's not true.
Because every decision we make as men is connected.
But the Bible speaks on that.
Yes, sir.
Your left foot, you're supposed to chop it off, right?
Absolutely.
We ain't doing that no more. But the point is, you know, I don't want to offend nobody. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm not perfect.
Right, nobody.
But I don't want to push my struggle on you neither. You know what I'm saying? It's probably best you don't know about this part.
Man. It's just it's like Charles. Yeah, it's no respect of God, and that's the thing. I just feel, for me, when I said what I said, I want to make it clear that my great grandmother and great grandfather made me understand that there is a fear of God's power.
Yes.
When I saw my great grandfather crying while he was cooking, and his response to me was, "These are not tears of sorrow. These are tears of joy, because I know where I'm going when I leave here."
Right.
You know, that's a different saying and feeling.
Right.
For a young person to be like, wait a minute, you're not scared of dying? You know, it's a fear of, it's something that God that was instilled in us, and I think people are putting the gift on a pedestal.
They are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we put the gift up and not God up. You know, and so God, the gift is here, and we celebrate. We love the gift. We love you. We don't want to lose you in the gift. And then you put God down here, and God is the one who gave the gift. So there's
bro.
You know, there's no fear of God.
I agree with you. What do we also say to those outlets that get on there and magnify it even the more and talk about it, although it is public knowledge or whatever have you? I just believe every dog got his day. So I believe you should be careful how you handle people. See, even as we're talking about it, everybody may know what we're talking about, but we're talking about it in a careful manner. I feel anyway.
Yeah.
How important is that? And what do we feel about those kind of blogs and those kind of websites that's been going on? Because I will say this. The older generation, we talk about the older generation, like the older generation ain't had nothing going on. They had stuff going on too.
Different rules.
Just wasn't those different rules, and it wasn't social media.
And you wasn't going to know about it.
Yeah,
you wasn't going to know about it. And then Trevone, the thing about the older generation, they were ashamed. If they did something wrong, they didn't want to shove it in your face. You know what I'm saying? This is a different day. You know, and listen.
Make me agree with you, man. When you're wrong. When you're wrong,
exactly.
You're just wrong. Stop trying to make it acceptable.
Exactly.
Amongst men. You're going contrary to what the Bible says and
whatever.
Just stop trying to make it acceptable, and then be surprised when certain things transpire on that end. I ain't meant to cut you off. See, my bad.
No, bro, that's good, man.
No,
somebody needs to hear this, bro. I'm with you.
It's not. You're not a real friend to me. If you don't confront me when I'm wrong.
There you go.
You're not real to me. You don't bump my gift.
Right.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
The truth. There you go.
The truth. Tell me the truth. You wrong.
That's it.
You out of order. I'll give 2 clicks about your gift right now. You're out of order. You need to get yourself in line. Period.
Yeah, it'd be so funny the words people try.
2 clicks.
You know what I'm saying?
That click took me out though.
Words we use to keep from cussing, I just be like,
listen,
boy.
I mean, my thing is, hey, you know what I mean? You're not gonna go in no dope house with your phone out.
True.
You're not.
You know what I mean?
You're not
gonna go to the weed man showing what his measuring
if you do, you ain't gonna come out.
You ain't coming out. You ain't coming out.
Right. You ain't coming out. So my thing is, you're not about to do that. You can't. There's nobody to tell you, bruh, you out of order.
Right. Well,
period.
To answer your question, Trev, because he never answered your question, but your question is, to me, people that highlight stuff like that, to me, hurt people.
True.
So a lot of those people are people who trying to make somebody else look bad because, they hurting. So those are the people who, and they are crab because they're trying to highlight somebody else, a bad situation. So just now, I do agree with Jason. You are out of order, Jabari. Stop trying to play ball.
Okay, here we go with that. Here we go.
Listen though. So then there's a flip side to it too, though. Let me ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a publicity stunt?
That.
Wow.
Well, I don't know why you would want that to be it if it was going to be one. I would have picked several others that I could have done.
See, like Trev, somebody like me and you and Charlie might see it different because you got to remember, we came up in the Wendy Williams, that whole movement. It was a method, and just like Jason just said, some of those things was, that's with strategy. They knew what they was doing.
Wow.
Exactly what they were doing.
Let me tell you something. That's the life of social media. The news is the same way. Look at how they string along the election to keep you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, come on now, y'all. Like, we're gonna be. Let's be 1 million about it.
Yo,
you know what I mean? Like,
pause, Jay. Somebody said, did we have Kevin Hart on the line? Because they said James Mabel looking like Kevin Hart.
I'm dead.
And I looked at it and I was like, yo, you do, son. But
I'm not gonna say nothing because we got two celebrities on this joint. You got Kevin Hart and Mr. Brown. So I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
But yo, you guys have been short of amazing. Every time we get together,
quickly. Or just to piggyback off what Jason said, was it that, or was it he thought that he had friends that he could trust?
That too.
That's a possibility.
I was thinking, like, why can't we just get off of this?
So are they really your friends?
Right, those ain't your friends. That's how they roll.
Yeah, friends don't move like that.
Friends don't do that. I ain't no friends like that, and we ain't about to talk. And when I see you, it's on.
On like that.
No talk.
Damn, bubbling y'all. I knew it.
I'm not talking to you when I see you.
Unc was being quiet. Unc was being quiet.
He was waiting for this moment.
Unc is coming to set the church in order right now. Guys.
I just want to say this. Truth is, everybody wants to do this job, but they don't want to do everything it takes to actually do the job.
Wow.
Wow.
I think somebody mentioned standards earlier. There are no standards anymore.
There isn't.
You don't hear people before they get into this thing that we call gospel. nobody is asking what are the requirements anymore.
Right.
Wow.
Come on, bro.
They just doing it. They just doing it, jumping in and going, and nobody's saying anything. Now, that's when gatekeepers were actually serving a level of importance, when they were standing at the gate, checking to see not only who you are you filled with the Holy Ghost, are you saved for real? Like they check all of these different things because they know that once you started pouring out to the people, they want to know what are you actually pouring out to them. If you're hurt, if something's wrong with you internally, then you're gonna spew that out to them. If you are in that condition, you got to go sit down for a while until you fix that stuff. But I do believe
you oiled up, Doc.
I know for a fact that, like, I'm gonna be honest, I grew up in church all my life, and I love God with a passion to where, for me, the gospel is nothing but an extension of him. It is an extension of him. Absolutely. And that's how it should be viewed. That's how we should take it. That's how it should be poured out. Because that's what the people are looking for. And these times in the world that are happening right now, everybody should be searching for us.
They should be. They should be.
They should be looking for us. So why aren't we? Why aren't we? Why isn't this genre the most successful genre in the entire world? Why is that? When we know the world needs us.
The most influential. And the most influential. And I'm gonna piggyback off what you said, Stan, because you are really, really on it. Like you said, that there was people checking to see if you had oil. And if your lamp was burning, if you were really going to be a light in dark places. And there was a level of respect and standard. So, like, I don't ever, and I know y'all on here too, I don't want to do it. I've always prayed, God, if it's not you, or your hand ain't on it, don't allow it to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I don't want to do it if his hand and his oil ain't on it just because you got the gift.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be a part of it if it doesn't bear any fruit. You know what I mean? For you shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
Sorry, Kenny.
And out of season. You know what I mean? So I agree with you, Stan, man. Like, I just feel like that people have heightened the gift, man. And it doesn't take nothing away. The gift is, there's so many dope, gifted people.
It used to be so prominent I'll give you one example. I remember when Coco from SWV did the Bobby Jones gospel show one time. And I remember after she finished singing, it was funny what he did, but Bobby Jones, in his interview after she performed, he asked her, said, what happened? Did you make all the money you made over there, so now you're coming over here? He literally asked her that. But that was a way of the people who were standing at the post, like a general, like Dr. Jones, who just wanted to make sure that you were being authentic in what you're doing. He said it in a funny way, but that was his way of making sure, or asking the question, are you over here on purpose?
Right. And then the people that know them personally, like, we from up there with them, and we knew, like, people like Coco and Kelly Price and all of them, they would be convicted when they come. It was certain things they would not do.
They would not do.
Even when they was doing, but like, she said, she refused, and she didn't care how much they paid her. She refused to sing that song, Downtown.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you. It is nobody being gatekeepers, and nobody don't say nothing.
Bishop Mose would never let us come to the National Convention of Gospel Choirs and Choruses without a standard. You're not about to come in there and be running around and wearing whatever you want to. You know, the girls, your skirts have to be to the knee. You know, I mean, even though stuff was going on behind the scenes.
Right.
All right. So let me Jason, let me tell you this much. Let me tell you, I love what all of you guys are saying tonight. Let me say it like this. I had this conversation outside of this, of course, obviously, and somebody said, when are we gonna start accepting people for who they are? And I said, huh? I said, when are we gonna start? She said, when are we gonna start accepting people for who they are? I said, okay, I guess I get, because this new age church, you know, accept people for who they are. Let's not be judgmental. That's the reason why the church is failing now. The growth is dying and all this other stuff. I said, that's the problem. We've lost the standard. I think we have been accepting people for who they are for far too long, which is being people are in position, directing your choir, playing your instrument, you know, with a known struggle. We've been accepting it. It's not that we haven't been accepting it, but it's the same way you keep that same energy when you say, why should we hire a known racist cop, right? He's not going to come and say, I'm a racist, hire me. I want to work for the police department. It doesn't go with his job criteria, right? If you're in the business of promoting holiness, gospel music, then I have to, this is a dress code when I come to work. There's a certain way I have to deal in this industry. There's a certain way I have to handle or go about handling myself or my business because I signed up for this kind of job. So all of these things you guys are saying is so paramount and imperative to what we're discussing tonight in reference to this, because you signed up for this. You said, this is what you do and this is what you want to do. Then you got to keep the standard at that. So while we're doing this godly music and we're making music for him to God, because this is what our gifts and talents are supposed to be for anyway. We make music for him and to him. Let's hold up the standard and let's try to keep that what it is. Not saying it's going to be perfect. Go ahead.
I was just going to say right quick, man, every entity under the sun has a level of standard. If you work for McDonald's, if you go to the handbook, you're going to see the standards on how to do French fries. You can't just cook them how you want to cook them.
Right.
There's a certain way you got to do them to make the McDonald's fries McDonald's fries. So the same thing comes for us. There is a level of standard. Man, I'm going to tell you, somebody mentioned CCM earlier. I don't know who said it. Jason. But they have a standard so locked tight that they do not let nothing come out that is not what they expect for it to be. A level of quality control that you have no idea that is happening. But it performs and performs very well. So what I'm saying is the Bible that we have, that's our playbook. Nobody has as to why they're operating on their own. I feel like culturally we dig into different things that sounds okay, but don't really make no sense. Like we use the word judge all the time. Like somebody can rob a bank and shoot 12 people and somebody will say something about it. And somebody out of that crowd will say, why are you judging them? No, I'm not judging them. That was just wrong. It was blatantly wrong. And it's okay to say that. If you don't say it, you don't repair that person or help them to be repaired. Then when they go and shoot somebody else, then you holler, oh, that's not cool.
It's not.
We have so many things culturally to break. I think I don't know who said that on this call. Somebody was talking about I think that was Jabari earlier who was saying that somebody came up to him and said something.
That was Jabari. He said that I remember when you wanted to kill yourself. Don't think you better.
But see, the thing is, even church people will say slick things to try to keep you at a certain level to make them happy, because they are uncomfortable with who you are and who you are becoming. Even the devil can see how prosperous you can be.
True.
Crab syndrome.
So true.
Wow.
I'm talking about, they will go as far as saying, all right, don't you get caught up in who you are, because that ain't nobody but God doing that. But they say it in a way to make you say, I can't argue with that because you said that's God, which is true. But scripture says that faith without works. Who's doing the work though? Who's doing the work?
Yeah.
You can have everything in you to be successful, but if you don't actually get up off of your hind parts and do the work, it will never come into fruition.
Come on, Stan. When?
Okay.
Yeah.
You said a whole mouthful, but that's what we've been saying all night, pretty much. At the end of the day, it is you that get up and do the work and make things happen for you. If you do little work, you'll see little results. You do much work, you'll see much results. That's in anything. Keeping the standard with this thing we call gospel music, there's nothing else to say on that. This is what it is. If you want to work for this company, that's the requirements. You know what I'm saying? We all got to go by it. But at the same time, when you see other prevalent people, as somebody's, Jason was alluding to that earlier, saying, go ahead, we with you. Publicly, does that mean that they're calling the wrong right? I don't think so. Maybe they're just trying to show their support in that moment, but I can see how that can get mistook for something else, mistaken for something else. Sometimes people just need to study to be quiet. If you don't know what to say, don't say anything at all. Because I would never, Kenny, bro, I would never want my good to be evil spoken of. Yeah. I wouldn't want to make it look like I'm condoning what you're doing, because I do not condone what you're doing. However, I don't have to beat you down neither with everyone else. I understand that aspect as well.
Trey, let me interject here. I think that we have to make sure that the standard we're talking about is a biblical standard and not our own standard.
Correct.
Because if there was social media back in the day, even though our forefathers and everybody they were more strict, but if there was social media back in the day, a lot of things would be exposed back in the day as well. If we look today, there's fighting. Listen, I couldn't even hoop on Sundays. We couldn't go to the show. Those weren't standards. They said they were standards. Those were man-made rules. Women couldn't wear pants. Now they all wearing pants. We wearing damaged jeans, cut all up. That's not acceptable in some houses. But is that a standard? Or is that man-made rules, or is it against the word? And I think sometimes we impose our own beliefs to make it a standard based upon what we don't like. So if you go to a holiness church, Pentecostal church, and the women wear skirts all the way down to their ankles. You go over here, somebody's ministering, being relaxed and cool and chill, then in their eyes, it can be not the standard, but it's not biblical. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's a fine line, and we have to be careful how we impose what we think as standard to be something of our own comfort level.
That's real powerful right there, because a lot of stuff was man-made to help keep things in check. Now, I remember my bishop speaking about this. I know back, Keith, you come from that school. They told y'all back in the don't go to the movies. The devil is at the movies, and don't do this and don't do that. Now, and don't listen to secular music.
You better not,
because it ain't no God in that.
to get in your spirit.
Right. Well, I will say this: if you are a married person, you know, you're not gonna put on come on King Jesus.
Shine on me.
You're gonna put on, you know, a little sexual healing possibly for those married folks out there that want to get grown and sexy at the end of the night. But I think everything has its place. It's not the music, it's the act that can follow that makes it the sin. So now that we grow older, we eat the meat and we throw away the bones. So we get what they were trying to keep us. They were trying to keep us safe. They knew by going to some of those places, we were going to get contaminated and bring some of that foul play back home. And that's what they were trying to stop us from doing. So, but in me being a parent myself, and I don't know how many, I know Jason is a parent. I don't know how many I know Keith is a parent. I don't know how many other parents we have on here. You know, we got to even parent different a little bit in today's society, because I found out what you tell your children not to do, that's the very thing they're getting ready to do. Mm-hmm. So I kind of got to let my oldest bump his head a few times and say, you know, Dad, you were right, which is what God does with us.
Yeah.
He'll let you keep bumping that head until you discover, all right, I'm sorry, God, let's do this your way now. My bad. And moving forward, and that's all I want to see is there being some kind of accountability. We got to all hold each other to some kind of accountability, and we are our brother's keeper. So I believe we should speak on if nobody else should speak on our issues if it ain't us. Nobody else can speak on it. This is ours. This is one of ours. We can speak on it. They are one of ours. We'll speak on it, and we'll cover and we'll say whatever. But we're not gonna hold it against them neither. You know, it is what it is. We move on from that. Moving forward, what's next for you, Keith Wonderboy Johnson?
I'm just trying to stay safe and stay COVID-19 free. They was trying to open it up. I saw some stuff. I'm like, I ain't keen on doing concerts right now. And then when people start popping up, so really I'm just trying to get used to the new norm, man. You know, like I said, this is the new norm. So I'm trying to learn now, because I'm kind of mad right now. Everybody got their name under their picture, but mine don't. How you do that?
Oh my God!
Eddie,
you gotta set that up in your settings and keep telling where they can find you at on social media.
On Instagram, holla at me at Keith Wonderboy Johnson. Facebook at Keith Wonderboy Johnson. Twitter at Keith Wonderboy J. And if it's a virtual concert or something like that, or a parking lot concert, email me at keithwonderboyjohnson@gmail.com. Don't worry about it. I got my own mic. I got my own equipment, everything. And I got a special helmet coming for 21. And I just want all my brothers, I want y'all to know, man, y'all really blessed me tonight. For real, man. We definitely, Trev, don't you stop this. This is what we need to encourage and help each other, for sure. That's what real men, that's what we do.
Yeah, I agree. I thank you for that encouragement, because I was talking to Stan the other day, and I was telling him this, this is the last one. But I was meaning the last one for the year. He was like, "This is the last one." I was like, I said, "Well, this is the last one for the year for sure." And I said, because we only do once a month anyway. And I said, but moving forward, I got so much I'm endeavoring on doing. I didn't know how much more time I could have to put into it, because I'm like to prep, and you got to get your say, which is why most of the time I keep the energy the same. I don't do too much mixing anymore. I like to keep the energy the same and get something from it, because y'all wouldn't believe how many emails, texts, calls, inboxes I've gotten about this. And people wish we were doing it more often. And I had to, we really could, as much as I would love to, just can't happen that way. We're just really, really busy. We got the super producer over there, young Quincy Jones Stan, and Jason is writing a song for everybody and their mother, and Keith Wonderboy, we don't know what parking lot he gonna be at next week, and you know what I'm saying? So, but every time I come on, and my brother been putting it back, every time I come on, God keeps saying, This is why you got to do it in or someone. You wouldn't believe how many people we had a part of this. Artists, and I'm talking about artists that are known, because everybody that has done this platform is known within their own right, have hit me after and said, bro, thank you so much. You had no idea how much stuff I did not know that I learned from listening to Stan tonight and listening from Jason and listening from Charles and listening to you guys talk, and I'm blessed, and now I know what to do. And I'm like, in my mind, like, whoa, you know, I wouldn't have never knew that you didn't know that, you know, like, so so we are our brother's keeper once again, and this is why we got to have these sessions to pour into each other, because like Stan said earlier, it's even more imperative now with all that's going on to just have that wellness check-in, because although 2020 is ending, the pandemic is still not over just yet. So Kenny, tell us about what you got coming up, bro, and give your social media.
Cool, man. Social media, Instagram is Kenny Lewis, OV, as in Oliver, V as in Victor. Twitter and Facebook is Kenny Lewis and One Voice. Me, myself, I'm trying to do like Keith and stay safe. Y'all know we can't travel right now, but I do have a new album that's been out for a week now. This coming Sunday will be a virtual album release party. I would love for you guys to do a watch party and share it.
I'm in there.
Facebook and YouTube. Absolutely, man. So just doing my thing, man. Still trying to deliver content, getting the word out as much as possible, as much as we can do. Still trying to be safe.
James Mabel.
Yes, sir. Social media handles, Instagram and Twitter are the same, at J Mabel Jr., JMABLEJR. Facebook, James Mabel Jr. My artist page, James Mabel Jr., hashtag Dr. Jr. Man, it's so crazy. You know, God's just been faithful, man. I've been moving around, as you've been seeing, bro. I'll be in Dallas. I'll get out here tomorrow from Houston. I'll be at Antioch, Dallas. And of course, these settings have been mostly virtual. So it's just, you know, band, pastor, singers, and a camera. But we'll be ministering there this weekend. Next weekend, I'll be in Monroe, Louisiana. And then third Sunday, I'll wrap up my travel schedule for the year in Oklahoma City ministering. So my EP has been out, Journey 2.0, since September.
Yeah.
And God has really blessed that thing. And shout out to my manager, Greg, Uncle G Lyons. The hard work. That dude, Lord have mercy.
Good stuff, James.
Hardest working dude in the industry, man. Keeps me on my toes, keeps me working. But as Kenny said, definitely staying safe, man. My nose is very, very raw because I get a test every time I land back in Houston. Thank God for negative results, man. But like you said, this pandemic has caused some shaking, man. I've closed the casket on 2 loved ones, man, that had no pre-existing conditions and have succumbed to this virus, man. So just praying for everybody out there. But that's what's coming up, man. Just taking a day at a time and looking forward to just kind of sitting down during the holidays.
I totally get you, bro. Jay Clay, what up, baby?
Man, I got a CCM choir record that's coming out next Friday. It's called Choir Sessions. Drops with an artist named Stephen McWhirter, who used to be a part of a Christian CCM group called Iron Bell Music. So it drops, and just dropped a Christmas song with him this past Friday called Born a King. That will be on the Chosen TV series December the 13th. So if you download the Chosen TV app, there's a series about Jesus on that's got millions of people that watch it, and it'll be with Chris Tomlin, Zach Williams, a whole bunch of CCM artists. They called us. We wrote the song 2 weeks ago, and they picked the song to put on the show. So it airs on the 13th. Yes. The album drops on the 11th. Also, will be on Jack Harlow's new record. He's a big hip hop artist. Me and my choir are on a song with Adam Levine and Jack Harlow that drops on the 11th as well.
Oh, dope, bro.
Fire,
so,
bro.
Man, God is just, like I said, it's been crazy. And note what I'm talking about. I haven't been complaining because I'm very, very blessed when it comes to everything that God is doing in my life. And I understand the process. Then I did something that has never been done that drops at the beginning of the year for gospel radio. I went back and re-recorded You're All I Need, featuring Bishop Hezekiah Walker. And it's never been done in gospel music where the writer comes back and features the artist that made the song popular. And it drops to radio January 1.
I can't wait to hear it, man. I can't wait to hear it, man. I'm in there like swim with.
So that's all I got going on. J Clay 44, Jason Claiborne on all social media sites.
Stan Jones, man.
On social media sites, Stan Jones Music on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I've enjoyed tonight, as every night.
Yes, we do.
Glad to be a part of it again. I had some music to come out on 3 different projects that just dropped recently on Brian Courtney Wilson's new album. His new album titled Still. Also on Marvin Sapp's latest record. I had new music to come out that I wrote on there. And also, the Canton Spirituals dropped a new single, which was number 2 most added.
Yes, sir.
Wrote the single featuring Reverend Al Green. So that's doing very well. So, and looking forward to doing some more stuff. I think for producers and writers, this pandemic has been, a little bit of a blessing, kind of giving you time to just shut in and hear what thus said, and try to feed the people what they need to hear. So very thankful that God is still smiling on all of us, and hopefully things will continue to do the same. And everybody's watching, prayers over them as well. And we pray their prosperity, and a lot of people are going through as well. A lot of people, like James just said, burying people, loved ones due to this situation. So our prayers go out to them as well.
That's a whole fact, man. Once again, I thank all of you brothers for coming on. As usual, I can't do this without you guys. You're the batteries in my back. So I appreciate you guys for always being supportive and always coming on to say something that blesses me and blesses everyone else. All night long, I've been seeing people say, every last one of y'all, they preach, can they preach? Jason, preach, Stan. They didn't know who to tell to preach tonight. They were just telling all y'all to preach, because that means they were being blessed. So, and I was being blessed at the same time, man. I'm a fan of all of you guys. Once again, those of you that are watching, I am the host of this Hands Up Radio show. And I myself has partnered to do the live since we've been out of the radio studio. So we use the video studio for where we've been doing these productions at. And I just want to give a quick shout out, because I never really get into much of what I do. I'm always about others. I believe in the work will speak for itself. But other than that, I do want to say this, even as the close of this year is coming, God has been good. We've been fortunate to have 5 of my company, TP Enterprise, which is a radio promotion company, that has made sure artists such as David and Tiffany Spencer, John Teller, Javis Mays, Natalie J, and newly working this Christmas project for Shelton Thorpe and Laos and Harmony. Just making everyone else's dreams come true. And every last one of those singles have cracked Billboard Top 100. I worked my first quartet record this year. Got it at number 60. I mean, I ain't never worked quartet before, so that was real trying. But I was just grateful that we could do something with it. So great. Shout out to all of them guys that have been succeeding. I was going to release some new music this year, but I was like, we gonna hold off until January and make it really, really big. Got a new music video coming out real soon for that. So I'm excited about what's going on. So much is gonna be happening in January moving forward, and as we're doing things. So anyway, y'all just keep in touch with me via social media. Those that are watching, Trevone Perry on Twitter, Trevone Perry _ on IG, and Trevone Perry and Divine Purpose on Facebook, because I'm out of friends. I'll delete somebody, send a friend request anyway. I'll delete somebody at some point. But anyway, I love you guys. Until next year, I can't believe it. Go ahead, Stan. Go ahead, Stan. Go ahead.
I got one question I have to close with, and it's for Kenny. I want to ask him something right
now. Go ahead, go ahead.
So, Kenny, I was watching the Ricky Dillon video with the song He Paid It All, the reprise with Kim, and your face was like this. Like, were you looking like that because you were in shock of what she was doing, or
I was in shock 20 years ago.
Okay, that's what happened. That's all I need to know.
I was in
shock. Your mouth was open like this the whole time.
Yeah. I'll never forget the lick she started out with, man. It's iconic.
Man, it's classic. That was classic. I always wanted to ask you that, like, what happened? Because Trevone, you got to see it, man. His mouth was like this.
This is Ricky Dillon's DVD.
This is like over 20 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, a while ago. Oh, so I gotta watch that. I don't know.
That's one of the coldest records Ricky ever did. To me, one of them.
Yeah, is that off the No Limit album?
No, it was long before that. Yeah,
that's my favorite project of his. Yeah,
was that the Hallelujah record? Was it?
No, it wasn't a Hallelujah record either. Because it was Kim's very first time coming to Chicago.
That's what I thought. It was her first time, and like that.
No record, album. She didn't have any album out or nothing.
No music out.
She was still with the choir from Houston.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And Daniel Weatherspoon was on organ. He was padding the mess out of that song. Classic record, man. Classic record. I had to ask him that before we go. Like,
no problem. Yo, shout out to Ricky Dillon, man. He's one of the GOATs, man. We got to get him on hand so he can make us laugh one time.
Absolutely.
But anyway, many people don't know that he's hilarious. I mean, dude.
He's definitely hilarious.
I told him, I said, man, you probably should have did stand-up comedy at one point. Dude is really funny. Anyway, man, until next year, back in January, we'll be back with some more Strength Talk, man, because, hey, we're still in a pandemic and we'll be out of it real soon.
That's it.
But until then, please remember to live in purpose, on purpose, for the purpose God has on your life. I love you guys. Appreciate you.
Peace.
Bless you, man.